There we go. Welcome. I'm here. I'm live. I'm live. Let's go. I did it. I'm famous now. I'm famous. I did it. Mom, get the camera. Genuinely, mom, get the camera. I made it. You can see me. I'm here. I'm here. See? Anyways, finally we can get to the stream. And so hopefully you are enjoying your stay. Hope everyone's had a fantastic day. Everyone's feeling great and everything. It is Wednesday, the 4th of June, which is quite fantastic. I'm not going to lie. The week is midway through, and tomorrow we are almost there to finish it off. It's going to be Thursday, but obviously, regarding Arsenal, nothing changes. Regarding Arsenal, nothing changes in any way, shape, or, well, form. Let's just put it that way. Because nobody has been signed, right? Nothing has happened in that regard. Nothing is going on properly well as in any way, shape, or form. So I'm kind of confused. I'm genuinely, what are Arsenal doing? Because I hear reports that Berta is doing things with multiple players at the same time, just in case, and then he's going to figure out how things are going to work. But I kind of don't see it because the links are the same. Same information gets regurgitated every single goddamn day. And, well, basically, that's about it. Like, that is the weird thing in this regard. That genuinely is the weirdest thing. Anyways, probably you haven't been used to seeing me this big, pause, and everything. But I mean, in terms of this, I'm trying out new things. I'm trying out new settings. I'm trying out, what's its face? StreamYard, as you can see. Now, next thing I want to find out is how to use a link on StreamYard. Because that basically is going to be, and that should be that. But overall, yeah, Arsenal in the transfer business obviously never move fast. They move very slow. And the hope was that with Andrea Berta coming in, well, things would change. I'll just put it that way. But obviously, nothing has changed, which is very, very, very annoying. Yeah, Nations League is today. Yeah, Portugal play against Germany. And France play against Italy today, or that's tomorrow, or is it tomorrow? France, Spain. Sorry, is tomorrow. Germany versus Portugal has been delayed due to bad weather. In Germany, the match has been delayed. That's what the latest reports are saying. Yeah, Portugal versus Germany. Jean Neves at right back, bro. Dude, they have Roberto Martinez in charge. He himself ruined pretty much Belgium's golden generation. So I'm not that surprised. Let's just put it that way. I'm not that surprised at all. Big up Hendon, legends and all in the chat. Big up everyone. If you haven't already, like the stream, subscribe if you're new. Road to 1K is going strong, and leave your thoughts down in the live chat. Now, Hendon, specifically for you, have you used StreamYard? Because there is one thing I need to find out, and I just cannot figure it out to save my life currently. Big up Kwame. Hope you're doing well today. Big up, big up, big up, big up. I need one big thing to find out. No. No. How? Now let's see. Give me a second here. I'm genuinely doing things as the crow flies. You need to open this browser. I'll StreamYard to access the microphone display name. Okay. How to browse work with StreamYard. Android. Blah 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 blah. Now, that is the biggest thing. Now, what else is here? Bro, might be Arteta 2.0. He is, to be honest, Roberto Martinez hasn't done much all in national level, I would say, personally. But, hey, he's been doing some things. Obviously, he hasn't done much, but he's doing some things. To be honest, Roberto Martinez. Let's check this, because I want to see this myself. Now, other thing is, would be amazing if I could share it. If I could share it on StreamYard. Next thing, bro, makes Vitinha center forward. To be honest, Vitinha would, as a false nine, maybe he could actually do the job, especially if people want him to press and everything. That actually could work. My camera has done a bit of a mazza here, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, let's see. Let's do it this way. Sorry, I've never used StreamYard. How you have to researching what you need StreamYard to do it, either StreamYard's help facility or just Googling. I'm trying to. That's the only thing I need to do. I need to find out how I can basically add a link, so I can do well, not this maybe, but I can do this and show a link and everything. That's the one thing I need to figure out. With what background? With what background? Like seriously, with what background? Anyhow, I have some stuff to tell you, but maybe there's a tut. Like on stream, it would be weird if I did it on the stream. By the way, like I needed to figure this out before, but I kind of wanted to. I thought it would be easier because I know how to share images. I know how to share videos, and that is that. Screen sharing and everything. Interesting how Havertz isn't in the Germany squad, but was rushed back to Arsenal. Yeah, that's quite interesting. That's just the same thing what happened with Odegaard, by the way. Same thing that happened with Odegaard. Like, he was rushed back to play for Arsenal, and he went back to Norway. And in the end, they said, well, you're not fit to play. What are you doing here? Like, and that was it, basically. That was that. Because with that, everything ended in the midst of things. Let's just say it as it is. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna do this quickly. Yeah, here we go. Camera looks a bit better now. Damn hard, said the manager. Was rushed back. Yeah, it was as a PR stunt. Big up, Eros. Big up, Eros. Hope you're doing well today. Hope you're feeling fantastically well. Eros, a big question to you as well. Eros, do you know how to use StreamYard? I'm going to ask this to anyone. Zubimendi has signed all docs, only medical remains, which will take place before July window opens. I heard that today. I genuinely heard that basically they are delaying the signing, medicals, and announcement of Zubimendi just so we can no, just not we, because for us it's May. Just for so La Liga and what's its face, Real Sociedad can put it on the next books, not these books, but the next books for the next referral period of time. That's what I heard. Whether if it's true or not, it's nuts. It's actually kind of weird. Man, what a team! Oh, hope you're well, Robin. Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm trying to figure things out as the crow flies, but bear with me here. I'm doing the best I can. That's what y'all said about Sesko. It's about every signing. It's almost done. Medicals are there and all this stuff. It's going well, and that is everything. We still ain't signed him. Yeah, and that is the biggest question. Why we still haven't signed him? That for me is the biggest thing. So we'll see. We genuinely will see. Okay, first things first. Let's do it this way. Let me try this. If it works, I'm a genius, and you have to bow down to me. You have to bow down to me. Here we go. Here we bloody go. Hopefully it looks good for you guys. Hope you can read it. Hope everything looks fantastically well. I'm not gonna lie. Is it better like this? Or definitely not like that. Is it better like this? It looks better like this, right? If I zoom in a bit, does that look better for you? Nah, it doesn't. It looks kind of shit. I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, Zubimendi, here we go. We are figuring things out. We are figuring things out. It is happening. Don't worry. We have gone there finally. Zubi-do, basically. Let me check this on my own stream because I have to figure this thing out. Can you read the stream, by the way? Wait. Oh my goodness. I feel like a pleb. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like a pleb at the moment. But it is what it is, I guess, at the end of the day. It is what it is. But yeah, here we go. Zubimendi. All the medicals apparently have been done, and everything is gonna be what's its face? All necessary paperwork has been signed for the transfer of Martin Zubimendi to Arsenal. All that's left is this for the player to have a medical, a very quick procedure. That's according to Sam Mogbel. The same Sam Mogbel who said that basically it's done. It was done in January. The same Sam Mogbel who said that Zubimendi was done in January. So go figure that. Go figure. Genuinely go figure whether it's true or not. That is up to them and up to everything, whether you believe it or not. Up until we see his name and him holding up the shirt, I'm not trusting this one single goddamn bit. Let's see. Oh, this looks bad. This looks bad. Anyways, yeah, URL StreamYard, your viewers can access it. Can't you just put the link in the YouTube chat? So you no. I wanted to find how to show these links specifically, because at first it didn't allow me to. But I finally figured it out. It looks hella zoomed out, but that's a bit different story. I kind of need to assess so I can actually zoom it a bit in more. Let's just put it that way. I'm wet behind the ears, honestly, when it comes to StreamYard and YouTube. I'm trying to start channels soon. I had views on sport. I asked him. He said just go for it. It's very easy because I used to stream from OBS, right? And it was very easy for me. You have seen me do it for over a year now. It basically, I have been streaming for a year, and I decided to change to StreamYard. So just I can have other people on at some stages of streams. Because we could have some streams where we're just going to discuss things, but I could have somebody on at the time. So for now, we are going with the flow. We are doing with this, and we're going to see as soon as I figure everything out, we're going to have people on as well. We bow down to your genius, of all hail our leader. Big up Hendon. He recognizes who is the cult leader. Man, these Arteta fanboys are annoying as fuck, glazing the shit management. It is what it is. It is genuinely what it is. You have to make amends with that. So how's the weather in Baltimore, Iras? Is it heating up? Well, once he holds up an Arsenal shirt and he's officially announced, I will believe it. But all these rumors that are going around all the time that it's not, medicals are happening soon, it's just a matter of time and all this stuff, I'm not trusting that one single bit until I see it. Because as an Arsenal fan, I've been baited for too many times to trust these situations. And to add on top of that, by the way, like, let's be real, we as Arsenal fans, not all of them, but some of them, have a very big tendency. Remember the Isak story where we started to track cars in London, where we started to track airplanes, would player land in London and everything, in Heathrow Airport or wherever. Like, that is the nuts part. So basically, as an Arsenal fan, there's lots of PTSD. Let's just put it that way. So once it actually happens, the player up is holding the shirt and everything, I will be fine. For now, I don't trust this. I'm just going to say it as it is. I'm not going to lie. 9 likes. Big up to everyone who has liked. If you haven't already, do me a favor. Like the stream. Takes 1 second. Helps us stream out a lot. If you also enjoy the content, and please subscribe. Genuinely, road to 1K is going strong and everything. So if you have also any thoughts, leave them in the chat. I would love to see your opinions on our signings, Gyokeres, Sesko, players we are linked with, and we could just go from there. So screw that till you see Arteta announce. What are joke of London? We are the joke of London. It feels that way because we are arguably, London clubs took a lot of trophies this year. Crystal Palace, of course, Chelsea, and also Spurs, and Arsenal did nothing. Can't believe they canceled that match. They canceled the game? Which match they canceled? Because at the moment it's still live. From what I understand and from what I'm seeing, it is actually live. Like, seriously, it is actually live. So I don't know what you're talking about. Ronaldo versus Wirtz and Musiala. It is live at the moment as I'm talking about this. They're playing. There's nothing being said that it's canceled. I'm looking at the live scores as I speak. It's still live. No indication that it's being canceled. So yeah, no, I get it, Nations League, but it's still going on. From what I see, it's the 10th minute, and Germany-Portugal 0-0. It's not canceled. The game is happening as we speak. 0-0. The score is 0-0. Nothing has changed. The score is still 0-0. Don't worry about that. But yeah, overall, it is what it is. Zubimendi, we will have to wait and see what's happening, how it's going to go, and everything. So far, I'm not holding my breath. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, it's actually quite nice to see how everything is developing. Hopefully, everything develops nicely, and we get other stuff done. News for Arsenal in other terms. Obviously, Arsenal have been linked with what's its face? Arsenal have been linked with wingers quite a bit, mostly Nico Williams, obviously. And in recent days, in recent hours, we have been linked with Semenyo quite a bit. Let's just put it that way. We've been linked with Semenyo quite a bit, which is quite interesting. So we'll have to wait and see how. Oh, my bad. I'm gonna try and zoom in a bit more. Maybe that will help look better. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Would you take Semenyo at Arsenal? Like, serious question. Would you take Semenyo at Arsenal? Whoa. Would you take Semenyo at Arsenal? Would that be good for you? Curious to see Arsenal will do with Trossard. True. Same. I'm very curious to see what Arsenal are going to do with Trossard. So that is actually, whoop, my bad. That is actually kind of interesting in that regard. But yeah, Semenyo, apparently it will cost around 50 million, if not more than 50 million, I would say even. And that is, for me, the biggest issue in this regard, because 50 million, it's actually quite a bit for Semenyo. I'm not gonna lie. Like, is he better than Trossard and Martinelli? You could argue that 100%. Is he better than overall? Does he scream basically a starter for Arsenal? For me personally, no, he doesn't. Unfortunately, he just doesn't. So that for me is the other thing. He doesn't scream starter for Arsenal. So I don't know how to think about this. There's no argument that there's a player there, but kind of feels like Gervinho 2.0. Maybe that's a bit of a disrespect towards Semenyo. Arguably, I would say he's a bit of an improvement in general over Trossard, I would say. Okay, I'm gonna do this a bit. I want to see how this looks. I'm just testing things out. Anyways, yeah. So Semenyo is an immediate transfer. We already let Man U get Mbeumo. We need to get Semenyo done left wing, right wing spots or true. But let's be real. I much rather would have obviously what's its face Mbeumo. Mbeumo is about 50-60 million. He wants about 180 a week, the same salary Martinelli is on currently. So I definitely wouldn't be against that. At the same time, he'd most likely, well, he would start for Arsenal just on the left wing. I don't see him starting on the right wing. That is the biggest thing. Nobody is replacing Bukayo Saka in this team as long as Mikel Arteta is here. And Saka is going to be a right winger. Now, if a different manager came in and he maybe would say, Saka, you are better on the left, maybe then we could see Saka on the left, and if we sign Mbeumo on the right. That is the thing. Plus he's a great impact sub off the bench. Yeah, to be honest, with his pace, with his dribbling ability and everything, actually, it could work. It genuinely could work. Curious to see what Arsenal will do with Trossard. That is also the big question. Because no matter how you look at it, if Arsenal want to bring in a striker, right? A winger, we need to sell someone. Because I don't see Trossard and Martinelli staying if we are bringing in a left winger. And let's not forget, Arteta has wanted a new left winger since Mudryk days. So that is basically 3 years ago. So I expect some changes. And it's been widely reported that Arsenal want a left winger. So who are we going to sign? It's the weird thing. He impact on the bench, help us win matches. Gittens underrated, but Lookman is just top class. Yeah, but I haven't seen us being linked with Lookman that much, to be honest. I haven't seen us being linked with Lookman almost at all. And given the situation that Atalanta are losing some of their best players, Gasperini is going to Roma, maybe there could be some changes in the tides, and some of the players could become available for more reasonable prices. Let's just put it that way. Who knows? But yeah, time only will tell, of course. Doué, no words needed, but we are not going to pay 120, 140 million. Plus, Doué just won Champions League at PSG. There's no chance he would leave. He had the main role in that regard to actually win the Champions League. Now, Barcola could be a bit different story because he has been benched by Kvaratskhelia and Desiree Doué, of course. But I don't see Arsenal going for him as well. Like, there are no links. There are no talks about that. Like, that is the biggest thing. We will desperately need to cover for Saka, as I can't see Saka playing the majority of matches. I doubt his hamstring can take it. That is also the case. That, for me, also is the case, because he already had a surgery. He already like against Southampton as well. There was one rough tackle, I forgot from who, and Saka genuinely was limping for the rest of the game, which is quite worrying. Let's just put it that way. And he won't genuinely survive this. Long term, because if he keeps getting played game in game out for full 90, his hamstring is gonna give out and his career will end by about 20, 26, 27 years. He can be our goal, maybe. And on his bunch, why do people want Due? Well, he just won Champions League. You could argue he's the flavor of the month to some extent. But I can see Due more than this. Due's contract till 2029 as well. Yeah, it would be 120, 130 million minimum. He's world class. Not world class. Let's not go over the top. Big up views on sport. Big up. He encouraged me to try StreamYard. Basically, I'm not gonna lie. If you were not here in the first 10 minutes of the stream, you would genuinely laugh your ass off of how I was trying to make genuinely my face appear on the screen, because it was a blank screen and I genuinely forgot that I have to click on the camera, right, and press share on the screen. I was looking through Google how to share and everything. It was insane and it was hilarious as hell. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very tech savvy, but I genuinely couldn't figure this out to save my life. However, one thing I want to ask you: how can I make this screen where I'm showing Semenyo right now be more zoomed in? Do I have to zoom in the page I'm sharing, or can I do it from the StreamYard just so I can, for example, cut the left side where it shows messages, notifications, and all that stuff, and on the right side some part of the trending stuff, relevant people, and all these things? Is there a way to cut it all off? Ranieri is covered for Saka, but based on how much he played when Saka came back, not too sure it would actually be happening. How much do I have to zoom in? Whoa, my bad. So it has to be something like this, what you're saying. It has to be something like this. Okay, zoom in the page I'm sharing. Okay, let's see. Does this look better? No, it doesn't. Does this look better? Yeah, this looks better. Okay, I can live with this. When Yeri as a cat, that for me is the thing. When Yeri by default is a number 10, it's just that Arteta persists on playing him actually on the right wing. Yeah. Unks is laughing at me. Cool. But yeah, Semenyo for 50 million. Would you take him? That is the biggest thing I'm saying to you on the chat. Asking to you. Yeah, thank you. I can tell you how to cut off the gets broadcast on OBS. Yeah, I know. I was streaming through OBS for a year. Big up boy 10, by the way. I don't know if I tell big you up. But yeah, I've been streaming from OBS and making videos on OBS, and I kid you not, for about 6-7 years, right? So I knew those stuff. I knew that it's very hard to share, invite people on. So now that I'm getting accustomed to actually StreamYard, I actually can have finally some people on the stream, which is quite fantastic, right? At the same time, it goes in total contradiction with me being an introverted person, which sounds weird because I'm on camera and everything, but I am. And actually going up to some other YouTuber or streamer or whoever and ask them, would they like to come on my channel? I seriously cannot do that. I don't know why. I just have this blockage inside of me, that I just cannot put myself and force myself to go to a random person and say, hey, would you like to come on my stream and talk about Arsenal, for example, or their club or whoever or whatever? That for me is one of the biggest issues I could argue. Yet at the same time, I have no problem with public speaking in front of hundreds and thousands of people, going up to someone on the stream, ask for time if it's necessary and everything. At the same time, I cannot ask anyone to come on my stream. I don't know why. I genuinely don't know why. I think Dalman will be a cover. I don't mind when Yeri learning the right wing spot. It will be good for him. Wenger would have done the same in all likelihood. Wenger said himself, by the way. Wenger was the one who said, if you are a young player, forward in general, or even a midfielder, many times, first things first, you test them out on the wing. Because if you play on a wing, you lose the ball, it's not that detrimental to the team on a counter or defensively. If you are a midfielder and you lose the ball and it's a quick counter, your team is instantly on the back foot and in disadvantage whilst you are defending. Arsene Wenger said that, and I totally agree. That is absolute fact. Why we are linked with that 17-year-old, I have no idea. Genuinely have no idea whatsoever in that regard. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, Arsenal are interested. I'm not too sure about Semenyo. Some people would take him, some not. I'm kind of on the fence for him, unfortunately. Anyhow, some other news regarding Arsenal, because we're going to talk about something very interesting. And I kid you not, it is interesting. Arsenal, it got announced today that Arsenal are going to let go of 20 players, right? Arsenal are going to let go of 20 players, which ultimately seems very bad. And let's be real, it actually is. It actually is bad because these are the players Arsenal are getting rid of. These are the players Arsenal are getting rid of. And that is a big issue for me because some of the names that are on there, I hate to see that they are going to go for free. And just like last year, when Arsenal let go of 23 youngsters without getting any money for them whatsoever, there are some names that actually are a big issue with me. Look at this. These are the players that basically confirmed full list of the 20 players who will leave Arsenal this summer following the expiry of their contracts later this month. These are the players, by the way. Have a look who we are letting go. Big up, Gavin. Big up. Hope you're doing well today. Which 17 Brazilian? I think he means that Blackburn striker, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot his name, but that Blackburn striker, Boyton. I think he means that. In fact, are the team with the least minutes for under 23s? Yeah, we are. Arteta doesn't like youth. He doesn't use them. But yeah, I know, Marlon. It is what the hell. Edwards, Henry Francis, Saladin, and his brother Okonkwo Tierney, they'll probably make something of themselves. 100%. And that for me is a big issue with this. Because for me, last year's players we let go, and even these year's players we are letting go, easily we could make, and I kid you not, around 40 to 50 million combined. Some of them would go for about $1 million, maybe less. Some of them actually would go for quite a bit of money. For example, for me personally, Kane Edwards, Jimmy Gower, Henry Francis, Mohamed Saladin, nice. Saladin Al-Mahand, definitely. Brian Okonkwo as well, potentially. And of course, Kieran Tierney. I would keep all of those players. And to be honest, think about it. A few years ago, before Max Dauman showed up on the scene at Arsenal, Salam Eddin arguably was one of the hottest prospects in our academy. Before Chidobe Martin and before Max Dauman. Remember that? And now we are letting him go for free. We are actually just not even getting 1 million for them. And I would argue you could get for Saladin some money. You would get some money for Henry Francis, Jimmy Gower, and everything. And the worst part is, you just know that if this was City, Chelsea, a team like that, they would easily get 5 to 10 million at least for some of these players. That's what's the biggest annoyance and one of the biggest issues I have with Arsenal. There's always ways to make money, which sounds ironic when I talk about Arsenal with all the merch releases and everything. But some of these players actually would be good money for value. 100%, in my opinion, at least. Arsenal are still years behind Chelsea's selling powers. Exactly. They just don't know how to sell. And to be honest, Chelsea and City sell the players, right? Who have never kicked the ball for their main team for about 20 odd million. That's what's nuts in all of this. Edin is a baller. Henry Francis too good. Holding midfielder. Jimmy Gower, 18 and 20. Exactly. They're all being let go for free, which is the nuts part. Wasn't that Butler chap supposed to be rated and meant to be breaking into the first team? Nathan Butler-Oyedeji is the guy who sat on the bench the whole season, has played 2 minutes for Arsenal in his career, the main team, and he is the guy everyone screamed for to play when Havertz was injured, and all the time we used Merino at striker. He didn't even get a chance as a sub when we were 4-5-0 up. Not whatsoever. It's been clear to me that Arteta isn't going to get the most out of the academy products when we had no idea how to make use of Lino Sousa and Rule Walters. Yeah, Rule Walters left. Okonkwo, by the way, the actual goalkeeper for Wrexham, right? We could have gotten some nice penny for him as well. Let's be real. Cozier Dewberry, by the way, Brighton instantly snapped him up and loaned him out to Millwall. Instantly, without hesitation. And that just shows, doesn't it? Butler was never rated. It was Biereth and Balogun. Yeah, and those two also never got a kick for the main team, by the way. Both are balling out in League One. Well, Balogun a bit before the time because he was injured last season quite a bit. But Biereth, yeah. We sold Biereth for about, 5 million, something like that, to Sturm Graz. He played there for half a season till January. Then for 12 million, Monaco bought him. And in the 3 months that season lasted in Ligue 1, he scored 13 or 14 goals. He is the 5th or 6th highest goal scorer in Ligue 1 this season. That's what's nuts about this. But not Arsenal because of Arteta, man. I'm tired of this mid-overrated managers. To be honest, I think about it as well. There are some players who could easily be proper backups. Last year, I was screaming about the same thing because we let go of Rule Walters, for example, right? Who mentioned Rule Walters just before in the stream? I think it was Boy 10 or someone like that. He mentioned Rule Walters. You want to tell me that he couldn't have played this 120 odd minutes Cedric Suarez played last year? You want to tell me, well, the year before this season ended, right? You want to tell me that, for example, Salam Khan, right, could not have played those 90, 100 minutes that El Neni played for us the season before? Like, don't make me laugh. Serious talk. Don't make me laugh. The crazy part to me is that Butler has literally never been highly rated, and yet here we are taking him on the bench, Well, he let go of Balogun and Biereth. Chidobe Martin saw what Arteta is doing with strikers and just pieced the scene. He said, screw this, I don't want to be part of this. And he went to United, who are 15th. Aiden Heaven did the same thing. What does that tell you about Mikel Arteta, to be honest, if arguably some of the brightest, not literally, but to some extent, young prospects leave for United, who are basically 15th in the league? What does that tell you about Mikel Arteta and everything? But we need to sell we need to learn how to sell. That is the biggest issue. Feels like with the way Ranieri was treated at the end of the season, he might be added on that list. Ranieri needs a contract extension ASAP. He's on $4,000 a week. And he has 1 year left or 2 years left. I think 1 year left. Next year, his contract runs out. So if he doesn't sign a new deal, he's going to get signed up by any team. Like Borussia Dortmund would be fantastic. Other teams would be fantastic, like Borussia Dortmund, RB Leipzig. You would argue some La Liga teams would be phenomenal for him. Team like Brighton would be ideal for him as well. The thing is, Mikel Arteta just doesn't want to use him. Absolutely disrespectful, man. No respect for our academy talents. Exactly. If there were Chelsea academy players, they get over. Like, overall, if there were Chelsea academy players, 100%, they would get at least 60, 70 million for them combined. Serious talk. Arsenal just can't do anything in that regard. Big up, Like Thief. Big up. Hope you're doing well today. Hope you're doing fantastically well. Walters had a proper part to play in this squad. Criminal that Arteta binned him off to fund the Tomiyasu contract extension. Exactly. And Tomiyasu is on $100,000 a week, you know. $100,000 a week. And he's not gonna play for almost a year and a half. He played 12 minutes last season, and overall he won't be playing for a year and a half. Year and a half. If you think about it, there's 52 weeks in a year, right? That is 26. That's 78 weeks, right? So that means Tomiyasu is going to get 7.8 million, by the way, just by sitting on the bench, getting surgeries, and not playing at all. Thinking about it that way. That is actually kind of nuts. Oh, but we re-signed him to protect his value. Odds on he's going to leave for free, or someone is going to sign him for 2 million. Genuinely. Odds on. Sorry, need to reply to views, by the way. Was answering views. Give me a sec. Let me do this. Okay, let's move on. What else you have to say? Big up, Bargov. Big up. What's up with Zubimendi? Well, nothing. To be honest, there is something about Zubimendi. Apparently, everything is done and dusted. He needs just to do medicals, and he should be an Arsenal player. It's just the fact that we are waiting till the end of June, so Royal Sociedad can basically add this selling to the books for the next calendar, where the year for money-wise, when they get valued for PSR and FFP for the next year. So we are waiting for July 1st, allegedly. Go figure, because you cannot trust anyone who's what these guys say on socials. Not even journalists. Let's be real. You have to take everything with massive pinch of salt. And heaven knows this shit manager, yeah, he just pissed off. Keep forgetting that Heaven and Obi Martins were at the club. Exactly. And Aiden Heaven, by the way, he played in the Europa League semifinals. And did he play in a final? I don't think so. Chido Obi Martin didn't play because he wasn't registered. But they played on consistent basis somewhat in Premier League, by the way. Like, let's be real. Protect Tomiyasu's value. Exactly, that's the biggest thing. Injury Yasu, bro, doesn't even play him. Yeah, exactly. Hutchinson as well. Emil Smith-Rowe, Joe Willock. All of these players could have stayed and we would have been better off with it. Exactly. 100%. You want to tell me that Willock is not better than Sambi Lokonga? Emil Smith-Rowe is not better than Fabio Vieira? Hutchinson would be ahead of Emil Smith-Rowe, by the way. But the biggest thing is, players like Hutchinson, Vanieri, right? They take risks in attack. They like to attack. They first thought when they receive the ball is to move forwards instantly, take on opponent, have a shot, find a pocket pass between the lines, behind defender's back. Arteta doesn't want that, does he? He wants total control, slow attack, and total basically fall asleep type of football. As Views says, Paint likes watch Arsenal dry. That injured little crap. And we didn't even play. Exactly. Arteta treats players like tools. He uses them until they break down or when he needs to throw them under the bus. Exactly. He's like a new kid when he wants a new toy. He gets the new toy, he plays with it for a few days, pause, and then it basically gets dropped on the floor, under the bed, and it there sits and collects the dust. Then after a few months, you remember, oh, right, I had this toy. Let me play with it again. So you find it, you use it for a bit, and again, it gets dumped under the bed and it collects dust there. And that's how Arteta is treating these youth players. Same happened when Yeri. Saka is injured. When Yeri starts to play after fan outrage, Saka comes back when Yeri almost doesn't see the pitch whatsoever. Like, plays microwave minutes. Like, seriously, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing here? Serious talk. And my camera is doing a bit of a mazza. Let me actually fix this. Now, oh my bloody hell. How do I fix my camera? It's doing a mazza. Give me a second. I'm learning on the job. I'm learning on the job, as it says literally on the tin. This should force camera to refocus, yeah. That's what we're doing. We're learning on the job. Max Dauman. Oh, this one. We have to talk about this one. Because one of the title things for the stream is Saliba's statement. And we 100% need to talk about what Saliba said. Saliba said this. And I kid you not, William Saliba said this. Oh, my bad. A bit too zoomed in. Saliba said this. We learned a lot last season. Next year, we are coming for the title. No excuses. William Saliba himself is sending out, you could argue, hidden messages to Mikel Arteta just to say, if we don't win some title next season, I am going. Let's be serious. Real Madrid are they gonna be patient? They will wait for Saliba to end his contract, become a free agent, and the closer that time comes, the more they will be linked with Saliba, and they will whisper into Saliba's ear, wait for it, don't resign. We're gonna come for you. Just be patient on everything. They're gonna do this. They genuinely are gonna do this. Put a hand over the camera for a few seconds. I do that at times, but I don't know why, but turning off, turning on camera, it focuses it instantly, and I kind of like that. I know it's kind of annoying for you, and that is, I get it, that's on me, obviously. But hey, we are going with the flow. If it wasn't for Saka's Tielemans White's injuries, he'd never been considered MLS Ranieri. To be honest, true. If Saka doesn't get injured, if Calafiori is not injured and he doesn't play, and he doesn't refuse to play Zinchenko or Kivior as a left back, Skelly never gets game time. Ranieri never gets game time. And they would be just sitting on the bench getting microwave minutes on consistent basis throughout the whole season. Why is he talking about Real Madrid and his love for Xabi Alonso? Because, well, he doesn't know what he wants. He genuinely doesn't know what he wants by the looks of things. Arsenal sim, yeah. Zubi has no respect, exactly. He played with Liverpool's like a puppet master, like marionette on strings. He kind of is doing the same thing with Arsenal. I think he's just sitting patiently a bit and waiting to see if Real Madrid are going to come in for him. Big up G Wills. Our youth has no hope under Arteta. It's 1,000%. I would say it's 100 million% clear. This man is everything what's wrong with our club. Exactly. Arteta is the issue. I saw that yesterday, unless Arteta high. Exactly. Saka said the same thing after Champions League game. Exactly. The thing is, though, at this current situation, right, there is bigger chance that Saliba leaves than Saka. Because for Saka, it's a bit more attachment to Arsenal. Let's be real. Because he's Highland, he's Arsenal through and through, pretty much. So there's a bit more attachment, right? But obviously, if Arsenal don't start winning things, Saka also will start to think about leaving because he doesn't want to turn into Arsenal's Harry Kane, right? Saliba, on the other hand, he was signed by Emery in the first place. Second of all, he got loaned out by Arteta multiple times. And he wouldn't have even gotten a shot at center back the season he got the shot, right? If Ben White wasn't so awful as a center back, so Arteta had to justify the 50 million he has spent on him to put him at right back. And we didn't have no center backs because we had like Rob Holding and stuff like that. So he decided to put Saliba there. Obviously, it worked out for us. Lucky for Arteta, luckily for us as well as Arsenal fans. But at the end of the day, he got lucky with it. And Saliba definitely, he has a grudge for it, 100%. And for Saliba, he has said himself, Saliba said this throughout the whole season, by the way, that to be considered world-class, I need to win trophies. I need merits by my name. And let's be real, in the current situation, Arsenal just cannot provide them that, unless by some miracle next season we win Premier League or Champions League, right? And if we cannot provide him that, it's just a matter of time until he says, well, my job done is here. I'm going to Madrid. So long, suckers. And that's about it. It's just a matter of time. There's no title next season if people think Arteta is going to play Havertz ahead of Sesko or Gyokeres. Dude, if that happens, the streams are going to get nuts. Let's just put it that way. I'm not going to lie. He will make our whole team get injuries. It could happen. I'm not going to lie. Can see Saliba planning his last year. Yeah, with this statement specifically, yes. Especially if it goes straight sour very early in the season. Obviously, we can sit here and think about the fact that maybe Andrea Berta can say, well, trust me, this is manager's last year. He is going to get sacked. Next manager, we are looking at options this, and this. And 100%, you know these managers, you have seen what they can do. Stick with us for one more season, and then if we don't win anything, we can let you go for free, which is kind of annoying from my point of view, because I would like to get money from him for him if he leaves, right? At the same time, it could be Peakums. Let's just put it that way. Saka don't want to leave England. Exactly. So there are quite limited options for how much Saka would demand price-wise and where he can go. Exactly. This is big facts by Boyton, by the way. We are looking at positions that are necessary and in desperate need for our team, which basically we have all youth players for, and we have binned off about 10 of them in the last 2 years out of the 50 we have 46 we have released. That's what's even more infuriating. We don't give chances to Salam Khan, Jamie Gower, Cozier Dilbury, Rule Walters, and everyone like that. We just bin them off. That's what's even bigger issue in all of this. We can't say anything about Harry Kane. He won the title, and we haven't won anything major in 21 years. Exactly. But think about it. It took Harry Kane how long to win a trophy? What did he win at Spurs? And think about this now. What has Saka won at Arsenal? And if we keep going down this route where we don't win anything, Saka will do the same thing. He will say, well, it's time to go for me. Peace out. Arteta has screwed us, if you're asking me, taken us backwards on where we would be even with a better manager. To be honest, that is one of the biggest things what I think about quite a bit in terms of Arsenal. Because you could make a very strong argument that we are where we are at the moment, and there are big indications that we are in a worse situation than we were before Arteta took over. There are some of those. I'm not discrediting that Arteta has done good things at Arsenal. Let's be real. Arteta has done props where props is due for Mikel Arteta, right? At the same time, the longer he does his joke thing, pisses everyone off and everything at the moment, right? The more he tarnishes his quote-unquote legacy at Arsenal. Obviously, there's no legacy for him at Arsenal besides the FA Cup, which Aubameyang won for him. At the same time, it is actually quite ridiculous. Trust me, Robbo, all the players will look to leave after next season if Arteta fails to get the teams across the line for any of the major trophies. The unrest is growing. Yeah, and to be honest, we have lots of desirable players other teams would want. Just think about it. Name a team that wouldn't take Gabriel or Saliba. Also Saka, also Timber, right? Ben White to some extent if he actually gets healthy. Declan Rice, obviously, he would be tough to sell. Saka also would be tough to sell, but still, we have players that other teams would want. And if players start to leave like a sinking ship, and let's be real, Saudis can pay the money as well. Think about it. There could be some players that go there. It could get very, very bad very, very quickly. We have no academy center backs, left backs, because they don't want. Yeah, we don't have. Skelly is a midfielder. Arteta just makes him play as a left back. To be honest, when Skelly already was a midfielder in the academy, Arteta came out in an interview and said, I envisioned Skelly as a left back. Arteta said something similar about Ranieri, by the way. Remember this season? In few years, I envisioned Ranieri as a number 9. Think about it, that as well. Big up Comp 285. Arsenal so need a new manager. Just the fact that Mbeumo chose United instead of Arsenal. Arteta's tactics and managing the players. Many reasons to be critical of Arteta. Exactly. There are more reasons to actually get rid of Arteta than to actually keep him. That's what's the nuts part. And when you start to kind of weigh them out, it is genuinely Peakums. But obviously, truth hurts, and many people don't want to look at it that way. As long as they are happy, well, the whole league wants to sign Ranieri, yet Arteta can barely find minutes for him in the dead rubber games. Exactly. Exactly. Whole league wants Ranieri. There are lots of teams in Europe that want Ranieri as well. Same goes for Skelly. Skelly needs a contract renewal this summer. I read already that the Real Madrid are looking at Skelly potentially as a left back / midfielder. Like, obviously, you cannot trust them, but the fact that even it's a thing is already worrying. Oh my God, everyone's looking at Kane and taking note from being loyal to Spurs, got him nothing. Exactly. So it's not good. These players are so scared to come at Arsenal's problem. Yeah, they're afraid to show their voice, to stand up against him. If Arteta fucks up with Sesko and no notable players will sign for him after that. Exactly. And to be honest, even if he signs Sesko and he screws up next season, I don't think there will be necessity for that because I think Arteta will be gone. I hope so, at least. Both Javier Hernandez and Manuel Mancini are available, for example. Yeah. Allegri was available. If you want, go buy out some contract from Flick or someone like that. Well, Flick maybe not. He just won the double. You cannot get him. Ancelotti is at Brazil. Nagelsmann is at Germany. There are managers you can get. And to be honest, most of the managers get 2-3 times less than Arteta is getting. So if you promise them, let's just say, double the salary increase from about 4 to 8 or 4 to 10 million, and if you give them guarantees, right, they will come. Pause. No one would take, oh yeah, there would be someone, but it's not going to be pretty. Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Skelly, Rice, Saka, Ranieri, all these players will find suitors very quick. Exactly. Like, let's be real. There are reports also that PSG want to build a team of best young French talents and in general some of the best young talents. You don't think Saliba fits that to a T? He does. And let's be real. They will soon need Marquinhos as a replacement. And Saliba will be perfect for it. Not even Saudi would. Arteta needs to change the deal if you think Ranieri is going to be a 9. Dude, he needs to lay off the hair gel. I think it's sucking into his brain too much. Ranieri do play center forward. Yeah, he does. To be honest, he does. But he is more of a cam. Yeah, he's more of a 10 because he played for under 21s in 10. Liverpool, City won them. Yeah, City would want them. Liverpool already wants them. It was already last year they were looking at Ranieri. Madrid wants Kelly. Yeah. Robo still holding out for they'll sack Arteta if he doesn't remain. Yeah, I hope so. That's all I have. That's all I have, hope. Because I don't see other way things can change. Hope is the only thing we have these days. Let's be real. Arteta plays robotic, crap, predictable football. Yeah, all the time, and it doesn't change. Plus, he's French, exactly. As I said, PSG, when was it? In December, January? When I read this article, there were multiple ones. One was from L'Equipe, one was from some sports thing and everything, that PSG's aim is to build their team from some of the best young French talents. They're looking at Lukeba, Konate, Saliba, and all these guys. They need to replace Marquinhos soon, and all these guys. They are going to do these things. They're going to sign some good, very young French talents. Big up BX Gunner. What Saliba really said was, I'm giving the project one more season. Exactly. This is the ultimatum he has set for Arsenal. We either win the title or I'm piecing the scene. No excuses, no light bulbs, no enough lemons, no small margins, no wrong pressure on the ball, different from the Premier League and everything. None of that. If we don't win a major, Real Madrid is already waiting for me. They have a locker room ready, shirt already printed. They just biding their time, and they will be patient. If Real Madrid wants someone really bad, they will do the things to get him. I abandoned all hope when they kept him during the Willian debacle. Dude, don't remind me of Willian. Genuinely, don't remind me of Willian. That is a pain and a half in general, if you think about it. That is pain and a half, to say the least. Already. Let's look at this. For the end part of the stream, let's look at this. Because this is actually kind of... I'm not sure what to make of this, but hey, we go with the flow, right? We just go with the flow. There we go. Finals reached by the Big Six clubs since Mikel Arteta became Arsenal's manager. Chelsea, 7. City, 6. Liverpool, 5. United, 5. Spurs, 2. Arsenal, 1. If bro doesn't stop this crap magic, I don't think he will. I don't think we will. Chelsea Chelsea rejects, please. Neither Man U or City two more. But yeah, look at this. Genuinely look at this. Since Mikel Arteta has taken over, we've been to one final where Aubameyang won him the FA Cup. Let's just say it as it is. Spurs have been to two finals. They have won one, and that is in Europe. They already have better European pedigree than Arsenal. Manchester United have been to 5. And in the last 3 years, they've been to 4 finals. 1, 2, lost 2, right? Liverpool, they have won Premier League. They have won, well, everything pretty much. Let's be real. Same goes for City. They have 4-peats, 3-peats, whatever you want. Centurions and everything. And of course, you have Chelsea, who in the time whilst Arteta has been here have actually won Conference League. They have won Champions League and everything. Like, what else do you need as proof that, like, it's not good enough? Arteta has to go. Sevilla have won 7 Europa Leagues. We haven't even won it once. Exactly. And under Unai Emery, by the way, they did it 3 years in a row. You know, do you understand what kind of consistency you need to have to win Europa League 3 years on the trot? It's actually kind of insane. Big up Mubarak, big up sir, big up. I hope you're doing well today. I'm informing all Arsenal fans to be confident. Zubimendi said yes to Arsenal, and here we go, sounded by Fabrizio. No team can hijack. Until he holds up the shirt, don't trust it whatsoever. I've seen too many instances where a player is doing medicals, and he mid-medicals leaves the club and goes to join someone else. Seriously. Ryan Cherky to Manchester City. Big up Cornell, big up Kenya. Yeah. By the way, Liverpool are signing 3 players by now. Gyokeres, Frimpong, and what's its face? Wirtz, right? They're gonna, most likely. City, they also have signed 3 players. Ait Nouri, Ryan Cherky, and Reinders. United have signed 2. Well, could sign 2. One is already signed in Mateus Cunha, and they will sign Buemo most likely by the looks of things. Chelsea have signed 1. If I'm not mistaken. Spurs even have signed a player, if I'm not mistaken. Arsenal is the only one that sits with their hands in their lap, twiddling their thumbs and doing, well, nada. As always, doing nothing. Sevilla have more European trophies than half of world football. Dude, it's insane. Sevilla is a different gravy. No first Gianni, no Cherky. Man, get Arteta. Yeah, exactly. That is the biggest thing. They are getting Cherky, they're getting Reinders, and they're getting, what's its face? I forgot the name now. Ait Nouri. It has all indications that Pep Guardiola for next season, not know how big extent, but to some extent, is going to try and pack the midfield with Reinders, with Rodri, and with Cherky. And he's going to use the wings to attack. And he's going to use overlapping wing backs. That's what it looks like at the moment. Plus, I don't know how true this is or not, but City are still exploring right back options since they want to get rid of Kyle Walker. And one of the players they are linked with is Livramento, by the way, from Newcastle. Flow words, yeah. All well in 15th, but players still want to join them with open hands. Exactly. United have bigger pull than Arsenal, no matter how you look at it. Big up Hyper Protagonist. Big up. Hope you're doing well today, my man. But yeah, this stat alone we are seeing on the screen right now is embarrassing, to say the least. Like, even Spurs have been to more finals than Arsenal in the last 6 years. Yeah, since Mikel Arteta took over in the last 6 years. It's actually embarrassing, genuinely. And I want to share this with you because this really struck a nerve for me today, because I wanted to basically do some comparisons, right? And this is what I popped up. This is what popped up. Give me a sec. It's loading, and here it is. Arsenal transfer spending. The yellow one is Arsene Wenger, and the red one is Mikel Arteta. Obviously, time, inflation, and everything, right? It is a thing. However, the biggest signings that Wenger did were in the last 5-6 years of his time at Arsenal, signing Alexis, signing Özil, signing Aubameyang, and all these guys, right? Here is the big thing about this. I did some research about this. The numbers vary in between about 50, 60 million, right? But here is the case. Arsene Wenger, in 22 years at Arsenal, has overall spent around 900 million. Mikel Arteta, in 5 years at Arsenal, has spent 750 million. So the difference is 150 million. In 22 years at Arsenal, Arsene Wenger has finished 2 times out of 22 outside of top 4. Mikel Arteta has already done it 3 times, by the way. Just look at it this way. If this and you want to get Arteta, I don't know what will exactly. I don't think we exercise our pull, to be honest. Let's not go there. Those are dark times. Shameful, exactly, shameful. We don't know if we have pull because the club's never actually tried someone that another club wants. Yeah, we don't indulge in bidding wars, do we? What pull we have, man? You got Cunha Mbuemo easily. Exactly. And to be honest, United, no matter how they're doing, they have better pull. They're Man United, biggest team in England, arguably, right? And they had even better pull when they were relegated, didn't they? Back in the day. Well, bring in the worst era, yeah. Arteta has probably spent more money than all previous Arsenal managers in history combined. I wouldn't say that much, but Wenger in 22 years has spent 900 or so million. Seriously. Like, how nuts is that? Chelsea getting Portuguese wonder kids Quenda, that CDM Esteban. Yeah, they're getting all of them. Sooner or later, it's going to work to a T, just like with Nottingham Forest, matter when. We folded interest on Mudryk soon as Chelsea were interested. Yeah, instantly. And Mudryk was crying and ringing Arsenal to sign him. Oh, I have another graph for you. About this. Let's remove this. Let's add this and this. This is the Arsenal transfer spending. Wenger versus Emery versus Arteta. You probably can tell which one is which, right? It's the same graph, just including Unai Emery, right? Unai Emery in year and a half, like seriously, year and a half, has spent 180 million. 180 million. And the worst part is he was never back properly, despite spending 180 million. Because think about it. He wanted Fabinho, which Liverpool got, right? He got Lucas Torreira. That's what the board bought him. He wanted the Zaha. He got Nicolas Pepe. And all this stuff. Same goes for, to be honest, you could say the same about Wenger. He wanted Kante, they gave him what he gave him, Granit Xhaka. And all this stuff. It goes all over the place. Think about it. But these are the graphs. But to be honest, I'm not gonna lie. This one I like more. This is the main one. This is genuinely the main. Yeah, most of Emery's money, like half of it, a bit less than what he has spent, was on Pepe, 72 million. Like, that's about it. After that, it's Torreira, Mustafi, and all these guys. And even with those guys he signed, he managed to go 22 or 23 games unbeaten. Mikel Arteta has gone half of that, unbeaten at his best of times. Yet that squad Emery had was deemed toxic, negative, awful, and everything. Make it make sense. Make it genuinely make sense. That was deemed toxic, negative, and awful squad. Yet the same squad, he went 24 games unbeaten, and that team helped Mikel Arteta win the FA Cup. And once he got rid of them, he cannot do anything anymore. Good thing he's absolutely shit doping. Do you think we will sign Sesko and Semenyo? In an ideal scenario, for me, we would sign Gyokeres and Rodrigo, obviously. But I don't think we're going to sign Semenyo. Sesko, time will tell, because I don't know what is going on with transfers and Arsenal. No Chelsea rejects our players. Yeah. Fans, we gave Arteta one more chance. One chance too many. I'm just going to say that way. Most Emery's spending is Pepe. Exactly. More than half of that is Pepe alone. Gitten's a baller, so underrated. Yeah, we'll see. He's linked with Chelsea. Arteta got to sign multiple Pepe price players. Yeah. He signed Havertz. He signed, what's its face? Rice and all these guys. He's signed quite a few. Who is more expensive, Havertz or Pepe? Havertz was 65 million. Pepe was 72 million, right? However, if you include signing on fees and wages, Havertz is the most expensive one, hands down, between those two. Let's be real. Like, serious talk. And he barely plays, but yeah. Pepe 85 mil. Pepe was 72 million pounds, and including wages and everything, it's about 85, 86 million. And of course, Havertz is way more than that. We pay Havertz 10 million a year. 10 million a year. 285. Wait, let me do quick maths before we kind of wrap it up. He's been what? 2 years. 2 times 285, right? 2 years times 24. Yeah. Yep. He's been more expensive, including wages. Yeah. Havertz is way more expensive. Emery apparently didn't want Pep. Yeah, Emery wanted Zaha. And Emery also wanted Fabinho. The same Fabinho that helped Liverpool win Champions League, Premier League, and all these things. Pepe's transfer was a dodgy one. Yeah, Sanlehi. Yeah. Block pocket the most likely. That's like Edu with the Marquinhos deal, isn't it? Hell no. Fuck, we got a boy get them. There's a Stavao, dude. The thing about Emery was that he wanted to get rid of 16-year-old Saka to fund his Zaka transfer. Yeah, that is the thing. Obviously, at the moment, hindsight is a very beautiful thing. Let's be real. At the same time, that was a dodgy one. That genuinely was a dodgy one. But can you blame him to some extent? Because he wanted players he wanted, not that what basically club forced on him. And Emery still tried his best to do with the things he had. Emery was wrong for, yeah, he was definitely. Zaha, to be honest, Zaha would be phenomenal for us. And think about it, if we had Zaha and we had Aubameyang, when Arteta came and he played the 3 at the back crap and everything, Aubameyang most likely never would have moved to left wing, first place. And second of all, he probably would still be here, maybe. Brilliant Arsenal business. Yeah, exactly. That's Arsenal in a nutshell. Brilliant would be better. Okay, that's a bit of a nuts take, but hey, it is what it is. But anyways, guys, I think on that note, I think we can try and wrap things up. So if you haven't already, please smash the like button, subscribe if you're new around here. We had a phenomenal stream. We had some panicky moments in the beginning until we figured stuff out. At the same time, we managed to do it. First stream on StreamYard. It's actually quite nice, I'm not gonna lie. So I guess we're gonna do this every single day. Let's just say it as it is. On top of that, by the way, it looks like we actually might start to get some people on the stream. So I might reach out to some people. Maybe they want to come on the stream. Maybe I'm gonna try at least. Let's be real. My OCDs and all that crap maybe can't handle it. I will have to try, basically force myself to talk to other people to come on my stream, which I'm not great at, and I'm very, very not my thing. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, I think on that note, I'm gonna end today's stream. Big up, Hendon. Big up. Enjoy your evening, as Hendon says. Yeah, enjoy your evening. Enjoy your day tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. The week is almost over. Hang in there. So if you haven't already, like, subscribe, leave your comment down below if you're watching this as a playback. And on top of that, I released today a TikTok, Mr. Robo19 TV, and I released a YouTube short as well. I do it every single day. So if you haven't already, do me a favor, go check it out, please. Leave a like, a comment, everything. Helps a lot. Thank you for making me a mod. I'm very honored. Big up, Hendon, big up. I see you being a mod in quite a few places. So I think you are a trustworthy person in that regard. You're not going to swing your sword, pause, on everyone all the time. Big up, Eros. Big up. Thank you for dropping by. Big up to everyone. Take care. Stay safe. I'm going to see you all tomorrow. Peace out. Peace, 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 peace. Bye-bye.